So it is currently 3 a.m. right now. I don't even know how I'm up at this time, how I even have this energy, but I just feel convicted by the Holy Spirit to make this video, to actually tell you guys how I got saved this summer. And I'm not gonna lie, this video, this is a very powerful testimony. Like, many people, 90% of the people, including my friends, might think I'm crazy, but this is how I truly felt, and this is truly what I experienced this summer. Now, I actually did make this video literally a week or two after I was saved, after I had this whole like experience, right? Like, I literally was like shook by it. I was barely able to get out the words I wanted to say because I was so shooken up by this experience. But in today's video, I'm going to be showing and telling you guys the full detail of how I got saved. So let's just say in June, I was hanging out with my friends and we were doing a bunch of stupid stuff. I'm not gonna get into detail, but let's just say after this, during the nighttime, bro, I remember it, bro, I was seeing like weird things. My reaction timing, like I would literally hear my friend talking to me and I would try to respond, but then I would literally respond like 3 seconds later. Like, I don't even know, like I felt like I was lagging in real life, and I was just like, I was scared because when I saw this, when I saw how slow my reaction was, like I would literally like try to move my hand and it would move like a few seconds later, and I was so scared, bro. Like, I felt like I was literally like, I don't know, like I felt like I was going crazy because my reaction timing was just not with me. It was just like super delayed. And so as my friends would tell me, they were like, oh, are you okay, are you okay? And like, I didn't like that feeling that he was telling me like if I was okay or not. Like, he was looking at me like I was crazy. And so out of nowhere, I just started to panic. I went into this panic mode. And keep in mind, bro, like I never experienced anything like this in my life. Like, I remember, bro, I was literally feeling every single blood cell in my body. I felt every single one just moving throughout my body, and I felt like my body was literally my heart. Like, I was just, my whole body was just pulsing over and over and over, and it was getting faster and faster. And I truly felt like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I truly felt like I was going to die at this moment. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, I was panicking so bad. As I was panicking, as my panic got worse and worse and worse, and I started literally like feeling like I was about to like lose my head off. Like, I literally felt like I was at my end. Like, I literally felt like death was literally a millimeter from my face, and if I literally touched it with any part of my body, even my hair, that I would literally die. Like, that's how like bad it was. And I remember just in my head playing the scene like, never give up, never give up.
I'm still not giving up.
Like, cause I was remembering like Asta, like I know it's corny and all, but like my motto, my thing is to surpass your limits. So literally in my head, I just kept telling myself, never give up, never give up, never give up. And I was playing that over and over like millions of times in my head. So as I was replaying that message, never give up, never give up, I remember my friend literally was like, yo, like, you good? Maybe I should play some music. So he literally played like some orchestral, like motivating music. And I remember just like having this whole battle scene, like if I was like Asta or something, like literally defending off like millions of like monsters or something. Like, I don't even know. Like, I just remember just like in my mind battling against this, battling and never giving up, never giving up. That's the only thing that was repeating in my mind. And then I remember he switched the music video, and when he switched the music video, I think it was like, I don't know if it was like a Bad Bunny like type song, or it was like some sort of like really popular song, right? And it just had like flashing red on it, and that was scaring me. I was like, no, 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 turn that off, please turn it off. Like, I was telling him to turn it off like my life depended on it. And this was to the point where I was literally so close to like losing it that I just started to pray. The only thing I could do was pray, because my friends couldn't help me. I couldn't do anything to stop it really. So all I had to do at this very moment was to pray. And I remember I was praying. I was literally praying, like stood up praying on my friend's bed and just saying, God, God, please save me, please save me. And I remember, bro, I heard it clear as day. Like, it wasn't like a supernatural voice or anything, but it was like a message being input in my head saying, are you ready to die for me? And I just kept saying, yes, yes, I'm ready to die for you, I'm ready to die for you. And I just kept getting the message over and over, are you ready to die for me, are you ready to die for me? And I kept saying yes, but then on my last yes, I was like, yes, but I have a mission. I still haven't achieved my dream yet on this earth. And so when I said this, I heard God say, he said, okay, I will let you go, but in one condition, you spread the word. And I said, I will. And keep in mind, bro, I basically didn't really ever read the Bible. Like, I never, bro, like, I remember like I tried to pick up the Bible on the start of my self-improvement journey, or like in 2021, a year before my self-improvement journey, and I read like the first like 2 pages and I put it away. So when I started to pray, because I would hear like all these TikToks and all that, I would like read all these TikTok like Bible verses and stuff. So I was a little bit knowledgeable of the topic of like the Bible and all that, but in all seriousness, bro, I was never really serious about it. So when I was like hearing this voice or like getting this message and praying, like it was all supernatural to me. And so after I stopped praying, after I got this message, you should spread the word, I sat down and I was like, okay, oh, like I calmed down a little. I'm like, all right, I'm good. But then this is where things took a turn, my boy. Like literally, I was literally feeling like my whole body, like from the bottom up, was like boiling, like literally boiling, like from burning. And I just remember feeling this feeling, and I was trying to keep it in. And I remember like I didn't even feel like I was in control of my body. Like I don't know how to explain it, but bro, this burning feeling got so bad that I literally took a water bottle and started pouring it on my friend's bed. Like my friends were looking at me like, yo, this dude has lost it. And I was literally pouring that water bottle all over his bed to try to get rid of that burning feeling. My friend had like a cat toy, and it's like a metal stick with like a little thing at the end. And I remember I was literally crushing that stick, that metal stick, with my like one hand. And I was just like, I was crushing it because I was feeling so much pain, and I didn't know how to like stop this pain, and it just kept getting worse and worse. And then I realized, I was like, yo, I gotta go to the other side, like because there was a room across from his living room that had light, and we were in like a dark room. So I was like, I have to go to the light, I have to go to the light. And I literally ran into that room. So as I ran to the other room, into the room of the light, I grabbed a water bottle because my mouth felt so dry. It felt like someone literally dumped a bag of sand into my mouth. Like that's how bad, that's how dry my mouth was. So I was drinking. When I opened that water bottle, I started chugging it, and I chugged it so fast I was like actually choking. Like I literally was chugging it, pause, and I literally like spit it all over the floor and everything. And my friends were like, you good? Like, yo, you just made a mess. And then to show that I was still sane, to show that I was still in this body, I was like, yeah, I'm good, I'm good. And I took off my socks and I started wiping the floor, wiping the water off the floor. And my friends, bro, I'm not gonna lie, my friends probably thought like I actually lost it. Like they thought like, yo, this kid needs help. But bro, I was literally like cleaning the floor with my socks to try to prove to them that I was still in this body. So as we're walking out this room, keep in mind I was with 2 friends, and I remember one of my friends was laying on his bed, and I remember I asked him, I had these like wet socks in my hand, and I'm like, yo, if you were to take a singular H2O water molecule from this, and if it was given to you by God, you would literally be saved. But see, if you were to take, like, imagine like the whole universe was filled with water from the ocean. If you were to dump that into hell, it would not even burn out hell. It would not even take out the flames, the lake of fire. That's how like crazy it felt to me, because I was feeling that hellfire. I was feeling that in the present moment. And so I just remember my friends saying, yo, if you're telling me to drink some water out of your socks, you must be crazy. And I'm like, no, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, if you were to take like that small of a scale of a water droplet, and if it was given to you by God, you would be saved. My friend started to think I was crazy, so then he started to ask a question. He was asking, oh, Motivzz, so if God is truly real, where is he? And I literally went up to him and I went like this. I said, God is right here. He is right here with us. This is how close he is to us. And bro, and I remember just asking him, I'm like, do you love Jesus? Do you love Jesus? And he was saying, yes, I love Jesus. But like in my head, I knew like he didn't truly mean it. And I started getting angry, and I was like, say it like you mean it. Say you love him. Say you love him. And like at this point, I actually was kind of losing my mind. I'm not gonna lie. But literally, like I was trying to like get him to like say it, or like try to confess, or like try to bring him closer to God, to Jesus, right? And I was like, say you love him, right? And then he's like, yes, I love Jesus, and like it was just so crazy. But I remember after that, I was just like, I went back to the other room, the room with the light, and I was with the other friend, and I told him, I'm like, you see this like right here, like me and you, we're good. Like as long as we continue to spread the word and actually connect and build that relationship with Jesus, with God, we are good. But you see him, that other friend, you see him like he's laying there, my boy, and he's like committing sin every single day. You know what I'm saying? Like he has an addiction and all that, like to like the hub and all that. And I was like he'll probably see this video. I don't really care at this point. Like I had an addiction to it too. We all have at some point, right? So I'm saying like this is a sin. Like what he is doing is a sin, and we gotta save him. I want to save him. And then my other friend is like, all right, so yeah, let's do it. And then basically I stuck out my hand. I was like, yo, promise to never give up. And we did like a fist bump, but then I was like pushing him like from the ground, and I was like, come on, put some power, put some effort to it. And I literally I don't know, like I did this like whole anime scene where I was like, yeah, I was like, yeah, let's go, we got this, come on. After that fist bump thing happened, they were like, all right, Motivzz, like you gotta take a breather, maybe go outside and get some fresh air. So I was like, all right, bet, I'll go out with you. So then we all go out, and I just remember in this moment that I started feeling that burning feeling again, and my mouth started to get drier and drier, and I was literally licking my lips, bro. I literally like licked my like finger to see if I had any saliva in my mouth. And I remember it just kept getting drier and drier. And I remember my friend, like he was sitting on the steps, he had like an iced tea can, right? And I was like, yo, can you let me like get a sip, like a literal sip? I was like, yo, let me get a sip. And he was like, no, just no, this is my drink, no. And he just kept refusing over and over and over. And I was like, yo, just give me a sip, just give me a singular droplet, that's all I want. And then he's like, no, this is my drink, this is my drink. And I just remember like having this feeling, like feeling what God was feeling, that feeling of like when God sees someone that can be saved and they don't save themselves because they're foolish to their desires. And I remember as I was asking for that sip, that literal droplet from his drink, like I was literally begging for it, like it was my life on the line, because my mouth was feeling so dry. And I remember at this time I just kept begging and begging. And at this time a train was coming. Like there's literally like a train station in front of his house basically, and I remember a train was coming from the distance. It was like and I just kept begging. I was like, yo, let me have a sip, let me have a sip, let me have a sip. And it kept getting closer and closer. And when that train passed by, it felt like I got hit by that train, because at the very last like no he said, the train went by, it flew by. And at that realization I was like, yo, it all like everything just makes sense. Like this is what it means like to reject God, to reject being saved. And I remember, bro, you won't even believe me when I say this, there was literally a car that was parked right in front of us, and it had the license plate June 6. And you know what that means, because June is literally the 6th month of the calendar, right? So you just add that up, my boy. It is literally the devil's number. And at this moment, bro, I literally felt like I was gonna lose it. Like I did not know what was real, what was not. Why was I experiencing all this? Like it was just like one event after the other. So after that whole thing, we're like, all right, let's just take a little like break or chill. Like let's put something on the TV. So I remember we put something on the TV, right? And I was sitting in the same room as that other person in that dark room, right? And then I just remembered, I just started feeling that like burning feeling again. I started feeling the heat. And this time it was feeling hotter. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like it felt like I was literally in like some 10 billion degree like flame, and I was just feeling it. And bro, I didn't know how to take this pain. But this is where I realized I had this cross chain right here this whole time. Like out of all these things that happened, I just realized I had this cross chain on me. So I remember I was feeling this burning, and I didn't know how to like get rid of it. And I remember I just had this. I was like, yo, I didn't realize that he was here. He was right here with me this whole time. And then so I literally like, I started to clutch this chain with like all my might. And I remember like, bro, I literally felt like some like entity or like demon or something was just like covering my hand, trying to crush my hand. Like it was that crazy, bro. Like you don't have to believe me, but just know like this really happened. And I remember I was just clutching this with my life, with this chain with my life. And I remember as I was squeezing it, the pain just started going away. It started going away because like something was trying to just crush it, but I kept letting go. It started crushing it and I kept letting go. And I remember every time like I held it and let go, the pain would just go away. And I was like, yo, is this what it means to be loved by God? Is this what it means to be loved by Jesus? Is this what it means like to like actually like this is what he wants for us? Like I was feeling that freedom. Like after feeling that burning, I was feeling that peace when I started to actually like hold the cross. And I just remembered I was just having that heartwarming feeling. And every time I let go of it, I felt that burning. So it was a constant on and off. I remember just holding on to this for my life. And you guys also won't believe me when I say this, but on that day, that very day, like this happened probably like around like 12 o'clock at night, but during the day, earlier in the day, my cross was lost. Because it was lost, this cross right here, I actually lost it outside for a few days. And I remember on that day, one of my like family members literally came in and handed me the cross. They were like, yo, Motivzz, like I found this out in the backyard. I was wondering if it was yours or not. And I was like, oh yeah, that's my cross. Yeah, thank you. Like, and it's just crazy because like, what if they never bring my cross from outside? No, it wasn't them bringing the cross to me. It wasn't them bringing my cross chain to me. It was God bringing the cross chain to me. It was God sending the cross to me because he knew on that day I needed it to be saved. And so after remembering this, after remembering that I literally was brung the cross on that day, it just blew my mind. And I remember at that very moment, I like went back into myself. Like when I was experiencing all this, I felt like I was third person. Like I was literally looking through my eye holes like as another human, like, or soul, or like I was literally like looking through my eyes. And I just remember at that very moment, I went from like that perspective to literally just being in first person again. I remember I was like, yo, this is the love. I just felt true love. And then I remember like just going into the other room and I was just talking to my other friend about it, and he's like, yo, you good? And then he just started laughing and I just started laughing, and I was like, yo. And then he said, he was like, yo, like I've heard about spiritual awakenings and all that, but I've never seen like anything of what you just experienced. Because keep in mind, I was also like during the time of like the socks and stuff, I was literally telling them Bible verses, but also like things that has happened like in biblical history. Like for example, like when Jesus, he literally gave bread to the poor. He literally did all these wonderful things. And I remember I was just saying that to them, and I never even read this in the Bible. So I remember posting a picture of my cross on my Snapchat story. And I remember literally like right after that, my friends were calling me through Snapchat. Like I was in a call with like 2 friends, and I just remember like they were asking, yo, like Motivzz, what happened? And I was like, I just felt true love. And they're like, what do you mean by that? Did you meet God? And they were like, they also said, when was the last time you went to church? And I literally started to think. I wasn't even in the right like mental state. And I just started thinking, I'm like, yo, when did I last go to church? The very last time I went to church was literally on Easter Sunday. And that is literally the day when Jesus rose from the dead. And I was like, yo, bro, I thought, bro, it was like every single dot of the universe aligned and just like connected to me. And I was like, yo, like, bro, I really don't want to seem crazy or like call things coincidences, but all of this was literally meant to happen. This day, this experience, I was at the right place at the right time. And it just like blows my mind, because like after that day, bro, like I felt like I was truly reborn. Like, bro, I literally forgot how to like breathe right or literally eat right. Like I remember that night I tried to go to sleep every single time I shut my eyes, bro. Like I kind of got scared of like the dark. Like I shut my eyes, bro. I fell asleep. I woke up the next second literally like panicking. Like I almost like I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack, because I literally was like hyperventilating. And I don't know, bro, like it was just crazy. Like, and to think like I just experienced all that, and it just made sense. Sorry if I'm like fumbling on my words, but I just truly couldn't like sum up like this experience. Like this was the most supernatural experience I have ever experienced in my life. And so like after this experience, well, first of all, I do not want anyone in their lives to go through that pain that I felt, that burning that I felt. I never want anyone, I never wish anyone on this earth, on this universe, to experience that pain. But at the same time, I want everyone on this earth, on this universe, to experience the love that God gave for me on that day. Because on that day, bro, I was truly blessed. I was truly highly favored by the man himself, by Jesus, by God, because they showed me the love. They showed me what it was like to truly be loved by God. And at that point, I was just so grateful. And I remember also during that time of the train coming by and all that, like right after all that happened and seeing that license plate and everything, bro, it was like a movie. It was literally like a movie. Like I was literally like filming scenes to like the best movie in history, right? Like I don't know. And I was experiencing this all in real time. And I remember right after looking at that license plate, like I was kind of in shock. And I just remember hearing like not like a physical voice, but like just a message, like I said earlier, just in my head saying like, no one knows when he will come, but the day will come. No one, not even God himself, knows when Jesus will come back. And I just got that message and I was like, yo, the fact that everyone or anyone can experience that, like that burning feeling, and anyone can also experience that love, it's like, why not? Why not actually form that relationship? Why not actually like spend the time with God to experience that eternal love? Like, you guys got to realize this stuff is very real. This is a spiritual warfare, and you can almost see it happening in broad daylight. Like you don't even need to like feel it. You can literally see it. You can see like all the things of this world. Like, bro, it's so much detail. But the fact that like I was feeling all this, like the fact that I've never experienced anything like this and I've experienced it, I can now like share my testimony, and I know I could bring at least one soul closer to the kingdom of heaven. So yeah, that is my testimony. I know it sounds like supernatural, and like 99% of the people that are seeing this will literally think I'm crazy, but I do not care. I do not care what people think of me, because I know what I experienced that day, and I know it is very real, and I want you guys to experience that love. So I want you guys to know that Jesus loves you, God loves you. Rebuke the kingdom of darkness and embrace the kingdom of righteousness. Have a blessed day, y'all, and remember to keep surpassing your limits, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.